Hello, beautiful people. I'm Ayda. Welcome to Unconventional Counseling. It's so good to have you here. If you are part of the tribe and you've been here before, welcome back. Welcome back. It's good to see you. And if you're brand new and you're wondering what this is about, welcome. We're gonna find out. I got a message for y'all. So, there is a full moon in Aquarius on August 11th or 12th, depending on your time zone. And this full moon is bringing in so much energy. It's transiting Saturn in Aquarius. So the full moon is going to be at 19 degrees and the Saturn in Aquarius is going to be at 22 degrees. They're just 3 degrees apart from each other. So with the full moon's entire transit through Aquarius, it's going to be passing over Saturn, who I like to call Daddy Saturn. So this is why I'm wearing my daddy cap. This is why I'm wearing a blush pink tracksuit, just to call in some softness, but also some firmness, because we got some things to talk about. So we recently had a conjunction in Taurus with the North Node, Mars, and Uranus, who's been hanging out in Taurus and is gonna be in Taurus for about 8 years. And Uranus and Taurus don't love each other. They don't. Uranus is actually really reminiscent of Aquarian energy. It loves to shake things up. It's a revolutionary. It wants to break shit. It wants to do things in a new way. And then we have Taurus, who wants to go all slow and steady, like, the tortoise and the hare, and win the race in their own way. These energies conflict, and these energies actually square one another. So we have a square going on between the Aquarius energy, the moon and Saturn, with the Taurus energy, the North Node, Mars, and Uranus. We're also having the Aquarian energy oppose the Leo energy. So it's happening real big, everything that we're feeling it in our whole bodies, we're seeing it in our lives, and then the Leo energy is also squaring this Taurus energy. So, the imagery that I have for you. You ready? Imagine a grandma, an elderly woman with a big ass pocketbook. And in this pocketbook, she picks up everything she thinks she's gonna need just in her day to day. And if not for her, for somebody else. So that means when she goes to the restaurant, she gets a ketchup packet and a wet wipe. When she goes to the restroom, she gets some of that good Kleenex and she puts it away for next time. Or if someone around her has a runny nose. She walks out the store and she finds change on the ground and she puts it in her pocketbook too. She is squirreling away resources for another time, whether for herself or for a community member that she will pass along her way and she will greet within her day. Now, one day, Granny has this sudden realization that what she has always desired, for the purposes of this example, is to be like an embroiderer. She wants to embroider scarves, she wants to embroider handkerchiefs, she wants to embroider people's names onto towels. This is her dream. She wants to create something so niche, but for the longest time she felt that she wouldn't make enough money, she wouldn't be able to sustain herself. It wasn't practical because of how creative it was and how niche it is. However, one day when she realizes, you know what? It's the time. It's really what I want to do. I'm not getting any younger. Here I go. She also realizes that all of the people that she thought she wouldn't have before, all the clientele, the possible clientele, they are going to be the people that she helped all along the way. They're the people she gave them Kleenexes to when their noses were running. They're the people that she gave some change to when she had a little bit for them to get on the bus. They're the people that she was supportive of and she freely gave to in all of these different iterations of circumstances of their need. And they are going to be the people, or at least some of the people, who are going to support her when she steps out in this new way, doing the thing that she wants to do. People love to support you when you've supported them before, and you've supported with your whole heart, and you've given with your whole heart. They love it. They love it when you're doing the next thing. The people who really appreciate and value you, and really appreciate and value what you're trying to create. They just will. They'll find you, they'll follow you, they'll be loyal to you, they'll provide for you, they'll support you, just the same ways that they feel that you have done so for them. All right. So with these squares going on, she has this sudden realization, right? That's Uranus in Taurus, Mars in Taurus. It has to happen right now. North Node in Taurus is covering this energy of, you know what? Actually, I'm going to be provided for, because all that Aquarian energy I have given to my community time and time and time again. I've invested in my community and they're going to invest in me. And so for her to do this in a Leo way, she has to take that pocketbook and she has to dump all the contents on the ground, because she needs to find out, does she have scraps of fabric for this to begin this endeavor? Does she have needles, the sewing kit that she needs? Does she have spools of thread of different colors, different thickness, different textures, so that she can create the beta line, the very first line of, I don't know, Ernestine's embroidery? I was like, I don't know who she is, but this is the energy that I was picking up. This is the vision that Spirit gave to me. This is the metaphor that I channeled. And it's so gorgeous to me. This is what's happening within the collective around this energy. This is one of the possibilities, because Uranus and Taurus kind of does what the fuck they want. And if this is an energy that resonates with you, let's continue. So, practically, in the 3D, you may be feeling a lot of pressure financially right now. You may be feeling like you can't make ends meet. You may be wondering what's going on and why it feels so hard right now. And this is something that's also happening to me. You know, we're all a part of the collective, so we tend to experience things at a similar time or in similar ways, whether directly in our own pocketbook that's straining and struggling, or whether indirectly, you know, let's say we work with others, our coworkers or our clientele are starting to struggle in this way. And I'm so grateful that I remember that I'm part of the collective. I'm so grateful that I have the relationship that I do with Spirit, so that when these things come up and they manifest, it doesn't stay as, oh no, woe is me. So let me tell you my story. My story this week. I got stories for days, I got stories for days, I got stories for days. So this week, for the first time in 2 years of working for myself, as a healer, as a counselor, as a spiritualist, as a creative, the first time in 2 years, I didn't receive a paycheck. You heard that right, yeah. When it was time to pay the taxes, when it was time to pay the expenses, personal expenses and business expenses, there was no money left over. For the first time in 2 years. And the first place I went was to work. And I just kept repeating in my mind again and again, there's not enough? I don't understand. Why isn't there enough? What did I do? What can I do? Why isn't there enough? Just repeating again and again and again, overwhelmed within, stressed, real stressed inside. And again, I say that I'm so grateful for Spirit, and I'm so grateful for my relationship with Spirit, because they reminded me of my basics. They reminded me of my pocketbook full of goodies, things that I've been collecting over the years, self-care strategies. They reminded me that I could journal. So I sat and I was journaling, and I found out all the things that I was feeling and all the things that I was afraid of in terms of this new experience in my reality. They reminded me that I can take a spiritual bath and I can infuse it with all my intentions, and I can speak over it, that I'm allowing and I'm receiving so much abundance, and that I can release the fears that I have around there not being enough, because there's always been enough and there will be enough. I've had my needs provided for so many times over. Even when there was like nothing, then there was a person that could help. Even when there was like nothing, then there was a home to stay in. There was a couch to sleep on. There's always been something. There's always been something when I really didn't have nothing to put down, 2 cents to rub together. Not one fathom, as my Nigerian people would say. Spirit reminded me that I could listen to affirmations and abundance frequencies. So I've been listening to them. There's one playing right now. I'm just gonna keep listening to them because I know that my vibration around money and abundance and wealth and prosperity, it needs more support at this time. Spirit reminded me that moving my body is really helpful, especially when I'm feeling big feelings, because it makes it so that the energy can move through me and it's not just trapped within. They reminded me that I could talk about it. They reminded me that I could create things like this video that I'm sharing now and whatever else gets created from this experience that I've had. They reminded me of my meditation practice. And I sat in meditation and then they whispered to me ideas of services that I can offer within my business that I'm not already offering. There is always opportunity and possibility when we shift out of the way. This full super moon in Aquarius, transiting Saturn in Aquarius, squaring all this Taurus energy, all this stability energy, all this energy around our resources and how we create security for ourselves is begging the question. Do you trust yourself to create the abundance that you desire? Do you trust life to help you create the abundance that you require? Do you trust spirit to follow through on their promises of you having the abundant life that you've asked for? And if not, what's standing in the way? There have been so many fears that I've been discovering. Old shit too, generational shit. Stuff that doesn't even have my name on it. Stuff that I inherited. You know how you inherit trauma? Yeah, you inherit narratives too. Stuff that I've witnessed in terms of witnessing people have a really, really hard time and stuff just go bad and bad and bad and worse. All of that came up. And then I had to remember my life. I had to remember my heart. I had to remember my experiences of when I didn't have and somehow eventually was provided for in some way, usually surprised way. Usually one that didn't take as much from me. Capitalism is a system that is built on the forced labor, the forced slave labor of indigenous and black and brown folks. It breaks the bodies of those on the margins. And it always needs more. It is never satiated. At this time, we are being asked to check in with ourselves. Are we feeling like we're just perpetually participating in a system, in a way of thinking, in a way of moving that is creating more and more of the same types of scarcity that we've seen in the larger collective? Or are we ready to check in to what we are capable of creating because of how substantial and massive and beautiful our souls are, our minds are, our imaginations are, our drives, our motivations can be when we team up with spirit. So that's my story. I really believe that every single one of us is going to need to check in on our individual needs and our individual fears to be able to shift through this and create something new for ourselves. Divine Alchemist, angels and archangels, ancestors for our highest good, spirit animals, ascended masters, we thank you so much and we welcome you in at this time. Thank you for being present with us when we ask. Thank you for guiding us and supporting us and helping us when we ask for support. Thank you for providing clarity at all times that you do. Thank you for bringing in signs and symbols and synchronicities when we least expect, when we're ready for it, or basically when we're able to allow and receive it. Thank you for being consistent even when we fall off from connection with you. Help me to channel a clear, concise, and a powerfully healing message for those in the collective on their ascension journey, on their healing journey, for those in the collective who are feeling financially strapped and strained right now, for those who are wondering what all is going to shift for them in terms of their abundance, for those who are wondering how their self-expression could possibly connect to their financial prosperity and their sense of security and freedom. I know that you all are living in an abundant frequency, vibration. I know it. I know that in the expanse of the universe, there is more and more and more increase. There just always is. You help us to remember that the universe lives inside of us. Help us to know that we are in this world but not of it. That we're gonna get to create things that we've never even dreamed of before, or that we've dreamed of but we never thought possible. Help us to connect to the parts of us that reflect you. Help us to use those parts of us to tend to the parts of us that feel wounded and broken and fearful. And of course, we welcome your support and your reminders and your care as well. The highest praise to our guides, to our ancestors, to the Divine Alchemist, to Christ consciousness, to the Holy Spirit, to our angels and archangels. And the highest praise, of course, goes to love, kindness, community, stewardship of this earth. The highest praise goes to you all. The highest praise goes to us as well. We are all we are because of you. We are all we are because you exist. And you all get to express yourselves through us. Thank you for this beautiful connection that we get to have with you. Remind us of how exceptional and amazing and wonderful we are, and give us the humility to be able to be thankful to you, all of our guides, all of our ancestors, to be thankful to you, ascended masters, for going before us, and to also be thankful to ourselves for doing the hard work, for showing up when it was hard, for going deeper when we thought that there was nowhere else to go, and for believing in our dreams. So much gratitude to go around. I cannot thank y'all enough. And I also thank myself, and I also thank each and every viewer that is listening and watching right now. Ashe. Hey there, Gemini. So I'm feeling a little scattered right now, and maybe you are too. I was just about to pull some cards, and then the perfect number that I needed came out. So here's your reading. Also, if you have a Gemini sun, rising, Mercury, North Node, Venus, or Moon, this is the reading for you. And if you're just drawn to the title or the energy of this reading, welcome. You can trust yourself. First, see how frenetic it is? How all over the place? First, we have the Wheel of Fortune. We're gonna get a sense of your relationship to money, wealth, prosperity, abundance right now, and what might be an obstacle or what might be the guidance for you around shifting it. We have the 5 of Wands. We have the 9 of Wands. First issue when it comes to you and abundance, you fight yourself on how much energy you don't have. You fight yourself and you try to push past your own limits. First thing. 7 of Cups. 3 of Pentacles. And the Emperor. If you also have an Aquarius placement, I would recommend you check out the Aquarium reading. Gemini. Gosh. Luck is on your side, Gemini. Look at the bigger picture. So we have new moon in Sagittarius and full moon in Sagittarius. We also have step out of your comfort zone, North Node. So whatever your North Node is, I would definitely recommend that you check out that reading, the energy of that reading as well, because that may be the next piece of whatever message you receive here. So you push yourself past your capacity, as I was saying before, when it comes to your work or your creativity, whatever it is that is your praxis that you're trying to create in this world or that you're doing for money. You push yourself past your limits and you also dream of professional growth. And it feels like these two things contradict each other because they don't have to on paper, but they feel like they do energetically, because when you push yourself past your limits, there's very little room to dream, there's very little energy to dream, there's very little clarity that you may have. You may end up feeling, very scattered. You may end up feeling very scattered. And for every person that I know with Gemini energy, and also for myself who has Gemini energy, I can get pretty hard on myself when I feel scattered, because I am so used to feeling that Zen type of beautiful clarity that is possible when that little idea sparks. So if that is true for you too, Gemini, you have a few choices. I know you love a good choice. Either you be easy on yourself when you notice that you've gone past your boundaries. You gives yourself compassion, I understand why I did this. I understand where this comes from. Or I don't understand. Let me get curious about why I chose to do this in this experience or circumstance. Give more than I had to give, really. Either you do that, you be easy on yourself, you be kind to yourself. Or you could try to catch yourself sooner. Right before you're about to send the message that's gonna pull you to work 3 more hours, or pull you to work an extra day, or have you taking on more responsibilities without more pay, or have you going beyond your means to provide for someone else or for an organization. It feels like it's very connected to work, or your creative endeavors. What if we pull back our energy right before we send that message, and we think on it, and we look at the bigger picture? Okay, so if I do this, then that means this person's gonna get to go home sooner. I'm all for them going home sooner, but can they actually help me so that we both, so I go home a little later and they go home sooner still? Okay, if I do this, if I give that, I'm not gonna have the energy that I want to spend time with my friends or to meditate and just be with myself or my dog or my cat or my animal, or to be with my partner and just have quality time. If I do that thing, I'm not gonna have the energy over here. Okay, does that mean you want to take a nap in between doing the thing and doing the next thing, or taking like time with you? Or does that mean you need to say no, or shift how it's showing up, or create a negotiation, a new negotiation and collaboration around what the thing even is? You got some options, is all I'm trying to say. We have the 7 of Knives. We have the Daughter of Baskets. We have the Big Queen, the Empress. We have the 6 of Baskets. We have the Star card. And we have the Chariot card. So you may be working for someone else and you may really want to work for yourself. Or you may be working at a certain position and you may really want to have a promotion at this time, or work at another organization that feels like it does what this one does, but in a different way, in a way that feels more aligned with you. You may be feeling scared that if you pursue these things that feel different or bigger or outside of your current familiar comfort zone, that they'll just go poorly and you won't be able to fulfill the dreams that you have, and probably ones that you've had since you were really little. This would be a great time to connect to those dreams, to write them down, to surround yourself with them in your space, or to have a book designated, a journal designated with those dreams, and that you revisit them every so often when you feel so inclined. Because these dreams get to live somewhere outside of your head. Because that little kid that wants their dreams like believed in and moved towards gets to have a space where they exist already. So write down each and every one of these dreams in the present tense. I am an entrepreneur who's successful. I understand success to mean this and this. You're gonna need to redefine some of these things that have been held within you for so long, so that this conflict doesn't come up in these ways as you move towards these goals. There's some healing that there's left to do around your relationship to abundance and prosperity. There's still some beliefs that you're holding about what you are capable of having in this lifetime. But your inner child knows that you're capable of anything. Write down their dreams, write down their visions in the present tense, so that they can have a place for them. And you can too. Create your joy. Smile and laugh. You deserve to be happy for no reason. Take time to do what feels good. Falling out of my hands. I honor my intuition. I trust myself. There is a reason that you're geared towards these particular dreams right now. Honor your intuition by connecting to them, making space and time for them. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I'm gonna pause this reading here. I would definitely recommend that you check out the Aquarian reading. I had to see them in the cards. I was like, which reading was it? The Aquarius reading. I would definitely recommend that you check that one out. And whatever your North Node placement was, again, thank you for letting me read for you. Thank you for visiting this channel. Thank you for taking in my words. I hope that they support you. I hope that they help you in some way. And the other readings as well. So if you're drawn to one of these other readings in the series, I will see you very soon. And if not, I'll catch you in the future. Bye, Gemini. Take good care.